Hello from Mindset Daily, wishing you a day full of health, peace, and happiness. Thank you for watching the Mindset Daily channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support us. Thank you so much.
Have you ever wondered why some people rise with power while others sink into doubt the moment they wake up? What if mastering just a few words every morning could rewire your mind for clarity, focus, and unstoppable growth? And imagine walking through life unshaken, unstoppable, in total control of your destiny. Every morning, you face a choice: surrender to fear and distraction, or rise with purpose and strength. This is your moment, your breakthrough. Because the truth is simple: when you master your mornings, you master your life. In just moments, you'll discover how speaking powerful truths each morning reshapes your mind and transforms your future. I am the master of my mind. Before your feet touch the floor, remind yourself of this truth. Not your boss, not chance, not luck. You are in control. Think about it. How often has an entire day been ruined by something as small as a spilled cup of coffee or a harsh word? But is it the event itself, or your reaction to it, that truly dictates the day? You weren't born to drift like a feather in the wind. You were born to direct, to command, and to shape reality. You carry the same raw mental material as every titan who built an empire, wrote a masterpiece, or defied the odds. Yet here lies the pitfall. Most people let their minds control them, instead of seizing the power to control their minds. He fills his mind with worry, doubt, and regret, never realizing those thoughts take root until his life mirrors the chaos inside. Ask yourself this: if a farmer lets weeds grow wild, can he expect a healthy harvest? If a carpenter neglects his tools, will his table stand firm? Then why expect a fulfilling life if you leave your mind untended? Now imagine waking each day and declaring, "My thoughts are mine to choose." Picture walking into work, your shop, or school, no longer swayed by someone's bad mood, no longer chained to yesterday's mistakes. A man bumps into you rudely. You smile and move on. A deal collapses. You adapt and recalibrate, because your mind is no longer bound to outcomes. But how do you truly command the mind? You begin simple. The moment your eyes open, affirm, "I choose what I think." And when negativity creeps in, and it will, you pause and ask, "Does this serve me?" If not, replace it. Declare instead, "I am capable. I am resilient. I am focused." Think back to the great men of history. Did they waste their days in fear, or did they discipline their minds like a wild horse, training it until it obeyed? You already know the answer. So, will you rise today as the master of your mind, or will you hand the reins to chance and circumstance? Remember this truth: nothing outside you has power unless you grant it. Say it now, and repeat it every morning. I am the master of my mind, and when I claim it, life begins to align. Today I choose definite purpose. Before the sun rises, before footsteps and voices fill the air, one decision quietly determines whether a man drifts aimlessly or walks boldly toward greatness. And it is this: today I choose definite purpose. Think about it. Look around. How many men move through life like ships without rudders, carried by the winds of circumstance, tossed by waves of distraction, uncertainty, and other people's opinions. One day they declare, "I'll do this." The next, "Maybe I'll try that." Years pass, and nothing of substance is built. But purpose, purpose is the engine that separates builders from bystanders, creators from complainers. When a man wakes and says, "This is what I will do," the world arranges itself differently. His steps gain certainty. His hands become tools of creation, not idle instruments of habit. Ask yourself this: have you ever seen a bricklayer begin without knowing where the wall will stand? Would a farmer ever sow seeds without choosing the field, the crop, the harvest he desires? Then why let a single day slip by without deciding with clarity what you are building with your time, your energy, your life? Picture yourself rising from bed and saying aloud, "Today my purpose is," and finishing that sentence with precision. Maybe it's completing a task you've delayed, making a connection, learning a skill, repairing a bond, or laying one more brick toward a larger dream. Suddenly, the irritations that once distracted you, the neighbor's complaint, a careless remark, the weather, become irrelevant. Why? Because when your mind holds purpose, it leaves no room for pettiness. Yet here's the trap most people fall into. They wait. They wait for the perfect moment, for certainty, for the stars to align, or for someone else to grant permission to begin. But that day never comes, while time, the ruthless thief, keeps moving. The truth is, purpose is never found. It's chosen. It's declared. A man does not stumble upon purpose like spare change on the street. He seizes it with both hands and claims, "This is mine." So how do you do this? Each morning, while the world still sleeps, sit quietly with yourself. Ask, what will I accomplish today that moves me closer to the life I desire? Be honest. Be specific. Vague wishes create vague results. Saying, "I want to be successful" is not a purpose. But declaring, "I will learn this skill, make these 5 calls, or write this page," that is purpose in action. Picture a craftsman in his workshop, tools lined neatly, wood prepared. He doesn't wander aimlessly from hammer to saw. He selects the right tool because he knows exactly what he's building. Life is the same. Your mind holds the tools, and purpose is the blueprint. So ask yourself, if today were your last, would you be proud of how you spent it? Would the hours lost to distraction, gossip, and trivial matters count as worthy investments? Or dissolve like smoke? There is only one remedy, one phrase that sharpens the mind and straightens the spine. Today, I choose definite purpose. Say it, mean it, live it. And when the sun sets, let it find you not drifting with the wishers, but standing among the builders. Men and women who, brick by brick, day by day, built lives of substance because they chose, again and again, to command it. Nothing will distract me from my goal. Stand still for a moment and think. When was the last time someone achieved greatness while being easily distracted? You already know the answer. A goal is like a fire in the furnace. It burns hot only if it's constantly fed. Yet look around. How many people let every noise, every idle conversation, every passing thought pull them away from what truly matters? One moment they're set on building a future, the next they're caught in things unworthy of their time. But not you, not anymore. Today you speak a truth aloud that becomes your armor. Why does this matter? Because distraction is the silent thief of dreams. It doesn't arrive with heavy footsteps. It slips in through gossip, sudden inconveniences, or an invitation that lures you off course. Left unchecked, these small diversions stack up until days turn into weeks, and weeks into years. So you must ask yourself, if a farmer plants a seed but abandons it halfway, should he expect a harvest? If a builder raises half a wall, then spends his days watching others, can he wonder why the roof never stands? Now imagine yourself truly focused. You rise in the morning with your goal etched clearly in your mind. You start your day with intention. Someone calls for idle chatter. You decline politely. A small problem tries to distract you. You breathe, handle it, and return to your mission. Suddenly, your life feels sharper. You notice the minutes you once wasted. Then comes the deeper truth most never realize. Distraction isn't only external. It often lives within. An unfocused mind, a tendency to overthink, an urge to feed doubt. These are the invisible shackles holding most people back. So how does a person break free? It begins every morning with a decision, spoken aloud or etched firmly in the mind. Nothing will distract me from my goal. And throughout the day, when something tempts you off course, pause and ask, does this serve my purpose or steal my progress? If it serves you, welcome it. If not, discard it without apology. Picture a man in his workshop. Every tool has a purpose. Dust may gather in the corners, but he doesn't waste hours sweeping while his project demands his hands. He knows what deserves his focus, the task in front of him. Life is no different. So ask yourself, if you let every small inconvenience steal your attention today, where will you be a year from now? 5 years. But if you guard your focus like gold, what could you build? Who could you become? The world doesn't reward dabblers. It rewards those who commit, those who can stand in the noise and still declare, my goal remains. My hands stay busy. My mind stays steady. Say it now with conviction. Nothing will distract me from my goal. Let it be your shield, your line in the sand between wandering and achieving. Because those who master focus master life. And remember this truth. My thoughts are seeds. I will plant success as the morning sun rises. Every life is shaped by this law, whether recognized or not. Your thoughts are seeds, and today you plant success. Consider the farmer. Does he walk into a barren field expecting corn to rise where no seed has been sown? Does he demand a harvest from empty soil? Of course not. Even a child knows the order. First comes the seed, then the harvest. Yet most people fail because they forget the mind follows the same law. Every thought you hold, whether faith or fear, victory or doubt, is a seed. And like the earth itself, your subconscious does not judge what you plant. It simply accepts, nourishes, and multiplies whatever you place inside. So ask yourself each morning, what seeds am I planting today? Will they bring the fruit of success, strength, and abundance? Or the weeds of worry, frustration, and failure? Picture this. You wake up and whisper without noticing, "This day will be hard. I'm not ready. Something always goes wrong." Even in silence, those words take root. Like weeds in a garden, they spread quickly, choking creativity, draining energy, and ensuring struggle meets you at every step. Now imagine the opposite. You rise, stretch, and declare, "I am capable. I am ready. Everything I need is within me. Success is already unfolding." Instantly, your posture straightens, your mind sharpens. The obstacles remain, yes, but you face them as someone prepared for battle, not as one already defeated. Ask yourself this. If a farmer sows poison, should he be shocked when nothing nourishing grows? Then why would anyone entertain thoughts of fear, doubt, or defeat, and wonder why success feels out of reach? This is no magic, no mystery. This is law, as real as gravity and as unbreakable as time itself. You become what you consistently think. Your life bends toward your dominant thoughts. So how do you master this? Begin each morning with intention. Sit quietly, close your eyes if you wish, and choose the seeds you will plant. Speak them if needed. I am resourceful. I create solutions. My efforts are valuable. I attract the right people and opportunities. Then, throughout the day, become the watchman of your mind. When doubt sneaks in, and it will, ask, is this the seed I want to plant? If not, replace it at once. Don't hesitate. Don't argue. Cast it out like a bad seed and plant a stronger one in its place. Picture yourself as the gardener of your own mind. Each morning you walk the rows, pulling weeds, checking the soil, watering the ideas that serve you. Discipline, faith, persistence, courage. You leave no space for anything less. Now ask yourself this. If you did this every day, if you cared for your mind as faithfully as a farmer tends his field, where would you be 1 year from now? How rich, how full, how abundant could your harvest become? Say it now with conviction. My thoughts are seeds. I will plant success. And never forget, the harvest always matches the seed. Always. Every challenge you face is an opportunity for growth. As sunlight breaks through your window, anchor this truth before the world intrudes. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Life doesn't hand out success wrapped in velvet at your doorstep. It delivers it disguised, wrapped in difficulty, hidden beneath struggle, cloaked as problems. Look around. Some, when faced with obstacles, bow their heads, complain, curse their luck, and ask, why me? But others, a rare few, stand taller when challenges appear. They square their shoulders, meet the problem with steady eyes, and whisper, here is my opportunity. Here is my test. Think of the blacksmith. He doesn't shape iron with gentle hands. He thrusts it into fire, strikes it again and again with hammer and anvil until it becomes strong, useful, enduring. And you are no different. Life's fire is not here to destroy you. It comes to forge you. Yet how often do people forget this? A delay comes, and they quit. A door closes, and they retreat. A criticism is spoken, and their spirit collapses. They fail to see that these very moments are the training ground of strength. Imagine yourself now. Picture it clearly. You're working toward a dream when suddenly a setback appears. A deal collapses. A task proves harder than expected. Someone mocks you, doubts you, or says you'll never succeed. What do? Do you crumble, or do you lean in? Smile slightly and say, perfect. This is the weight that will make me stronger. Because the truth is simple. Growth never happens in comfort. A tree does not grow tall without the push of the wind. A muscle never gains strength without resistance. And no man becomes powerful without challenge. Ask yourself, if life handed you only ease and comfort, how sharp would your mind be? How skilled your hands? How resilient your spirit? You already know the answer. So how do you transform obstacles into stepping stones? First, you change the meaning. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You ask, what is this teaching me? Instead of believing a setback means you should quit, You decide it means you must grow stronger, smarter, and more determined. The moment you shift your thinking, everything changes. Picture a man walking a winding road. He comes across a fallen tree blocking his path. The weak man turns back. The average man waits, hoping someone else clears it. But the strong man? He rolls up his sleeves, chops the tree, and uses the wood to build a bridge, not just for himself, but for those who follow after. Now ask yourself, how different would your life be if every difficulty became fuel instead of failure? If every no became a lesson? If every delay became a test of your patience and persistence? Where would you be a year from now? 5 years? Say it now, and say it with fire. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Let this truth be the lens through which you see the world. Let every burden turn into a blessing, every setback into a setup, and every problem into a possibility. The road to greatness was never meant to be easy, but it was always meant to be worth it. Before your feet even touch the floor, there's one declaration that must rise louder than doubt, louder than fear, louder than every voice that ever told you you can't. And it is this: I refuse to quit until I win. Look at history. Every man who achieved something of true worth carried the fire of persistence in his chest. Not one was handed success without struggle. The world does not roll out red carpets for wishers. It opens only for those who refuse to be turned away. Think of the mountain climber. Does he stop halfway, stare at the peak, and say, "It's too far"? Or does he grit his teeth, dig in, and keep climbing? One step, one hand, one relentless refusal, until the summit is beneath his feet? You already know the answer. But here's where most people fall. They confuse delay with defeat. One obstacle makes them think, maybe this wasn't meant for me. Yet when has anything worth having ever come without struggle, without setbacks, without a test of how badly you want it? Ask yourself this: would a blacksmith forge a blade by striking the steel only once? No. He hammers it again and again because each strike makes it stronger. And are you not forged in the same way? Imagine this. You've set a goal, you've worked tirelessly, but results are slower than you hoped. Doubt creeps in, voices whisper, maybe it's not working, maybe it's not for you. But then you remember the vow you made to yourself this morning: I refuse to quit until I win. Suddenly, disappointment loses its grip. Failure becomes a lesson. Delay transforms into preparation, not punishment. You adjust, refine, and push forward. Because quitting is never an option, you must understand this truth. Quitting is the only real failure. Every setback, every rejection, every mistake is not a signal to stop, but a call to sharpen your approach. Life tests every dream to see if you truly want it, to see if your desire outweighs your doubt. So how do you build an iron will that refuses to quit? You make it non-negotiable. Each morning, you declare it: I refuse to quit until I win. Not only when it's easy, not only when things go smoothly, but always. And when obstacles appear, as they surely will, you look them straight in the eye and say, you will not outlast me. Whether it takes days, months, or years, you persist. Because persistence cannot be defeated. Ask yourself, how many treasures in life are hidden behind just one more effort, one more attempt, one more refusal to give up? Will you be the one who stops, or the one who breaks through? Declare it now: I refuse to quit until I win. Let it echo so powerfully within you that no rejection, no delay, no failure can silence it. Victory doesn't belong to the most talented or the most fortunate. It belongs to the most determined. And if you refuse to quit, then without question, you will win. I attract success by being valuable to others. As the morning light touches your face, let this truth take root deep in your mind. I attract success by being valuable to others. Look closely at the world around you. In any town, city, or marketplace, the men who rise, who build fortunes, who earn respect are never those who only take. They are the ones who give. Not charity in the form of handouts, but value. They solve problems. They make life easier, better, and richer for others. Ask yourself, have you ever seen a merchant grow wealthy by selling something nobody needs? Or a craftsman prosper while offering shoddy work? Never. Wealth, respect, and opportunity. They are magnetized by one thing: the habit of providing value. Yet here's where many stumble. They sit with folded arms, waiting for luck, for someone to hand them opportunity, for life to reward effort they never made. But life doesn't work that way. No one has ever grown rich in money or meaning by asking, "What can the world give me?" The real question has always been, "What can I give the world?" Picture yourself walking into a room. Are you the one waiting to be noticed, waiting to be helped? Or are you scanning the room asking, "How can I help? Who needs what I can offer? How can I be of service?" Because here's the truth. The man who solves problems will never be without opportunity. The woman who eases burdens, who creates solutions, who brings value. Doors open for her, not because she begged, but because the world rewards usefulness. So ask yourself, what value do you bring? Are your hands skilled? Is your knowledge sharp? Do your words inspire? Do your efforts solve? Life's marketplace pays only in proportion to the problems you solve and the usefulness you create. And how do you embody this? Each morning begins with a sacred commitment. I will be valuable today. I will serve. I will solve. I will leave every person and every place better than I found them. Whether by offering a skill, lending a hand, sharing an idea, or lifting someone's spirit, the habit compounds. And like a magnet, opportunity begins to circle. People speak your name when you're not in the room, not because you asked, but because you became indispensable. The one who becomes truly valuable cannot be ignored. So ask daily, who can I help today? What problem can I solve? How can I increase my value? And never forget, wealth, opportunity, and respect are not chased. They are attracted to the person who becomes valuable. Say it now, say it with certainty. I attract success by being valuable to others. Make this the rhythm of your hands, the focus of your thoughts, the heartbeat of your day. Because when you dedicate yourself to providing value, success has no choice but to find you. I control my time and my energy. As the morning rises and the world pulls you in 100 directions, hold on to this truth. I control my time and my energy. Not luck, not circumstance, not other people. Look closely. How many waste their greatest possessions, their hours and focus, as if they were endless? They drift from task to task, lost in interruptions, chatter, and obligations they never truly chose. By nightfall, they wonder why nothing of substance was built. Would a master carpenter ever allow strangers to walk into his shop, scatter his tools, and demand he abandon his craft for trivial matters? Never. His time, his focus, his energy, sacred. And so must yours be. Here's the trap. Most people treat time as if it replenishes like water from a well. They forget once a day is gone, it is gone forever. Money can be earned again. Failure can be rebuilt. But no one has ever recovered a wasted hour. Picture yourself as a guard at the gates of your day. Time is gold coins in a pouch tied to your waist. Every demand, every meaningless task pulls at that pouch. And if you're not vigilant, by sundown, it's empty, spent on what brought you no closer to your dreams. So ask yourself, will you give that gold to anyone who asks? Or will you spend it with precision, with intention, knowing that time and energy are the currency of success? Even the wealthiest man cannot buy an extra minute. Kings and paupers alike wake with the same 24 hours. The only difference between those who succeed and those who struggle lies in how those hours are spent. How do you take control? First, you decide. Before the world wakes, you sit with yourself and ask, what truly matters today? Which actions move me toward my definite purpose? Then you commit. You draw a line around those priorities and guard them like treasure. When interruptions come, and they will, you ask, does this align with my purpose, or is it theft disguised as urgency? If it's the latter, you decline politely, firmly, and without guilt. Think about it. How many times have you traded an hour of meaningful work for idle chatter, for solving someone else's problem, or for distractions that only looked urgent? And what would your life become if, starting today, you protected your time as fiercely as your home or your family? Say it now. I control my time and my energy. Let this be the filter for every choice you make. Because here's the truth. The man who commands his time commands his life. The one who wastes it trades his future for regret. Guard it. Protect it. Spend it only on what builds the life you desire. Nothing is more valuable, and nothing will serve you better than mastering this law. I am surrounded by opportunities waiting to be claimed. As the sun rises and a new day unfolds, remember this truth. You are surrounded by opportunities, whether you see them or not. The world has never lacked opportunity, only people willing to recognize and act on it. Yet most walk through life blind, whispering, "There's nothing here for me. Life is unfair. The doors are closed. Meanwhile, another man, standing in the same street, in the same town, breathing the same air, sees openings where others see walls. He spots possibilities where others make excuses. Why? Because opportunity doesn't arrive with trumpets. It doesn't wear a sign saying, "Here I am." No, it hides, often disguised as hard work. It often wears the clothing of inconvenience, discomfort, or even failure. Ask yourself, how many times have you passed by the very thing that could have changed your life simply because it looked like too much effort, or because it came wrapped in uncertainty? Picture this. You step out your door this morning. Two men stand at the same crossroads. One sees only empty streets, slow days, and closed doors. The other sees a neighbor who needs help fixing a fence, a merchant searching for someone reliable, a problem waiting for a solution. Which man prospers? Which man rises? Which one builds something from nothing? You already know. Here's the pitfall. Most people wait. They wait for opportunity to arrive polished, certain, and guaranteed. But life doesn't work that way. Opportunity is not a gift to be handed to you. It's something you go out and claim. So how do you claim it? By changing the question. Instead of asking, "Why isn't there more for me?" ask, "Where can I be useful? Where can I serve? What problem can I solve?" Because wherever a problem exists, there lies opportunity, like gold hidden beneath the soil, waiting for the man with courage to dig. Think of the prospector. Thousands walked over hills believing them barren. Yet the one who brought his pickaxe, who dug past the surface, struck a vein of wealth. Did the gold move toward him? No, he moved toward it. So ask yourself, what problems surround you right now? Who needs what you can offer? What skills, services, or solutions are missing in your circle, your town, your trade? The truth is simple. There is no shortage of opportunity, only a shortage of eyes trained to see it. Say it now, and say it with conviction. I am surrounded by opportunities waiting to be claimed. Let this truth shape how you walk, how you speak, and how you approach every interaction. Suddenly, you stop waiting for doors to open. You build the door, carve the key, and step through. Because the man who believes opportunity is scarce will always remain poor, in wealth, in spirit, and in progress. But the man who sees life as rich with possibility will never go hungry. Not for success, not for meaning, not for greatness. Say it to yourself. I deserve the life I dream of because I build it daily. As morning air fills your lungs and a new day begins, let this declaration rise above all else. The life you envision, whether wealth, peace, freedom, or mastery, is not granted by fortune or handed down by chance. It is earned, forged, and built one day, one task, one decision at a time. Ask yourself, has any craftsman built a cathedral in a single day? Has a farmer ever sown seeds in the morning and harvested by nightfall? Of course not. Greatness is not born in bursts. It grows brick by brick under steady, persistent hands. Yet here's where many stumble. They stare longingly at the life they want, but forget it isn't desire that builds it. It's action. They spend more hours wishing than working, more time dreaming than doing. And soon they whisper, maybe this life isn't meant for me. Picture it clearly. Two men stand side by side, both dreaming of a strong, sturdy home. One sharpens his tools, draws his plans, and lays the first foundation stone. The rain falls, the winds blow, but he keeps building. The other folds his arms, staring at empty ground, waiting, wishing, hoping. Tell me, whose house stands a year from now? Whose dream becomes real? You already know. The truth is simple. The life you dream of belongs to the one who builds it daily. Through discipline, through action, through the refusal to let a day slip by without progress. And what does it mean to build it daily? It means every choice either moves you closer to, or further from, the life you desire. Each hour you spend learning a skill, sharpening your craft, strengthening your body, or training your mind. These are the bricks. Every promise you keep to yourself, every goal you refuse to abandon. These are the beams. And here's a truth most never speak. You only truly believe you deserve the life you dream of when you know, deep down, that you've built it with your own hands. No shortcuts, no excuses, no skipped steps. Imagine waking tomorrow, looking in the mirror and asking, have I earned the right to claim the life I desire? Did yesterday reflect the person I'm becoming? If the answer is yes, you stand taller. That confidence doesn't come from empty affirmations. It comes from evidence. Evidence built day by day with effort, discipline, and integrity. Now ask yourself, how would your life transform if each sunrise carried one vow? Today, I lay another brick. Not waiting for motivation. Not asking for permission. Simply building. Think of the stonemason. He doesn't hammer once and walk away discouraged. He chips, he grinds, he polishes. At first it looks like nothing but raw stone, but over time the form emerges, strong, undeniable, beautiful. So too with your life. Success never rushes, mastery never sprints, but they always reward the one who shows up daily, honoring the process more than the prize. Say it now, say it with conviction. I deserve the life I dream of because I build it daily. Let this truth guide your hands, your mind, and your spirit. Because once you accept that your dream life is built, not wished for, you become unstoppable. The blueprint is your vision. The bricks are your daily actions. And one day, you will stand inside the life you once only imagined. I welcome discipline, for it shapes my destiny. As the morning air stirs and the day calls you forward, anchor this truth deep within. I welcome discipline, for it shapes my destiny. Look at any man who achieved greatness. In business, in craftsmanship, in leadership, in life. You will not find luck as his companion. You will not find comfort as his guide. No, you will find discipline standing at his right hand, steady, unyielding, relentless. But here's the paradox most miss. While many run from discipline as if it were punishment, the truth is this. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom. Discipline is freedom. Ask yourself, has a builder ever raised a house without a plan? Has a sailor ever crossed the ocean without trusting the map, the stars, and the laws of navigation? Then why should life be any different? Discipline is the architect of destiny. It's the invisible hand that turns vague wishes into concrete reality. Without it, dreams crumble. With it, mountains move. Picture this. 2 men wake at dawn. One listens to comfort's whisper. Rest longer, skip the hard work, it can wait. The other rises, sharpens his mind, tends to his duties, and faces the day with clarity and command. A month passes, then a year. Look at their lives. One remains stuck, maybe even slipping backward. The other stands taller, sharper, wealthier in spirit, in fortune, and in strength. Which man are you becoming? Discipline is the sculptor's chisel. Without it, the stone stays rough, wasted potential. With it, the masterpiece emerges. The same is true for you. But let's be honest, discipline doesn't arrive dressed in comfort. It shows up in the choice to rise when rest feels easier, to study when others are idle, to finish what you start when quitting would be simpler. Each day, it asks, will you choose what is easy or what is necessary? And with every choice, your destiny either sharpens or dulls. Think again of the farmer. He cannot plant when he feels like it, or harvest when it suits his mood. The seasons don't wait for his comfort. If he ignores the discipline of planting on time, tending on time, harvesting on time, he reaps nothing. Nature rewards those who follow its disciplines. Life does the same. So imagine, truly imagine, what your life could become if discipline stopped being something you resisted and became something you welcomed. What happens when you stop battling the alarm clock and instead greet it? When you no longer dread the hard task, but lean into it? When you stop chasing the path of least resistance and start craving the one that builds you? Suddenly, distractions lose their grip. Procrastination becomes a stranger. Your mind sharpens, your body strengthens, your reputation grows, and with it, your destiny begins to shift. Ask yourself, if you reject discipline today, where will you be 5 years from now? But if you embrace it, what towering heights could you reach? Say it now, say it with steel in your voice. I welcome discipline, for it shapes my destiny. Let this be your armor, the fire in your chest when comfort tries to seduce you. Let it be the hammer that forges you into the man or woman you are meant to become. Here is the truth. Talent may open doors, luck may strike once, but only discipline keeps those doors open, builds the house behind them, and fills it with everything you've ever dreamed. Destiny belongs to the disciplined. Welcome it. Live it. Today I will take action, no matter how small. As the day breaks and the world stirs awake, this single vow holds more power than 1,000 wishes, more weight than endless plans. Today I will take action. Look closely at the men who achieve, who build legacies, who shape the world around them. You will not find men who wait. You will not find men sitting idly. endlessly dreaming about what might be if the conditions were perfect. No, you will find men of action. Men who, regardless of how they feel or how uncertain the outcome may be, choose to move forward. Ask yourself, when has a bridge ever been built by staring at blueprints alone? When has a harvest ever appeared because a man sat in his field thinking about planting but never touched the soil? You already know the answer. But this is exactly where most falter. They convince themselves that unless the action is grand, unless the leap is enormous, it isn't worth taking. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions. But life doesn't wait for perfect. Life rewards movement. Picture this. A man stands at the base of a mountain. He looks up, the peak feels impossibly far, and doubt creeps in. It's too high. It'll take too long. Maybe tomorrow. Beside him stands another man. He adjusts his pack, tightens his boots, and takes the first step, then another. The steps may be clumsy at first, but soon the ground shifts, the horizon changes, and the summit slowly draws nearer. Ask yourself, who wins? The one waiting for courage to leap, or the one moving forward step by step? This is the secret most never grasp. Momentum builds mountains. Small actions, repeated, gather force, until what once seemed impossible bends to persistence. So why wait for perfect? Why wait for certainty? The blacksmith doesn't wait until he feels like forging a blade. He strikes the iron while it's hot. The carpenter doesn't wait until the entire house is built in his mind. He lays the first plank. The farmer doesn't wait for the whole harvest to appear in a day. He plants the first seed. And so must you. What is the smallest action you can take today toward your goal? A conversation, a page written, a skill practiced, a promise kept. One choice that says, I am moving forward. Now ask yourself, how many days have been lost not through failure, but through waiting? How many times has greatness slipped away because men convinced themselves they needed more time, more confidence, more clarity? Now imagine your life a year from today, not because of some sudden breakthrough, but because each day, including this one, you chose action over waiting. What would your business look like? Your health, your finances, your relationships? How far could you climb, one step at a time? Say it now with conviction. Today I will take action, no matter how small. Let this be the anthem of your mornings. Let it drown out doubt. Let it silence hesitation. Because action, no matter how simple, separates the dreamers from the doers, the watchers from the winners. The world does not reward the man who waits. It rewards the one who moves. So step forward. Take action. With that step, transformation begins. Not tomorrow, not someday, but today. Remember, how you start your morning shapes how you live your life. These powerful truths are not just words, they are tools. Tools to build discipline, focus, and unstoppable momentum. Speak them, believe them, live them every single morning. Because once your mind aligns with your purpose, nothing can stand in your way. Your future isn't waiting. It is being built right now by you. Wishing you health, happiness, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Mindset Daily.